Hey, I wanted to start a new series called the Prepper Purge, and I think it'll be 3 parts. At least that's what I have right now. This is going to be part 1 of that. And so the first part, or the first phase of the Prepper Purge that I really want to talk about is because I guess I'm so tied into the preparedness community, and I'm watching all the different websites that are out there, and I'm seeing a bunch of stuff. I'm not just creating content for my own website and then putting it out there. I'm watching what other people are doing, because we link to articles on Prepper website all the time, right? We link to articles and podcasts and YouTube videos and all different kinds of things. So I get to see trends that are happening, right? I get to see these things that are happening. And one of the things that has happened ever since, President Trump has come to office is there has been for lack of a better word, there's just been this thing where people are, hey, we don't have to prep anymore, right? We have a conservative Republican president in office. Our guy is in office, right? And because of that, the thing is that that's not a reason to stop prepping. Nothing has really truly changed, right? And so as a result of that, I've noticed that I guess the numbers aren't there in the preparedness community. People aren't searching out, hey, the economy is crashing, or we're afraid of this or afraid of that. And so people aren't coming to preparedness websites as much. And so there's fewer people out there. Now, of course, there's the big websites, and they have their audience, and people go, and you can tell there's a lot of communication on the comments and things like that. But for the most part, I see it kind of has dropped all the way across the board. And I've seen, or I've actually talked to other people that have noticed it in different areas, right? And so one of the things that I've noticed is, because I link to a lot of websites, and at the bottom of Prepper website, I have all those links that go off to other websites. And so when I find a preparedness website, whether it's homesteading, alternative news, whatever, I link to it and it's there. But every once in a while, I'll do a broken link checker to make sure that, all the links are still good. And I'm finding more and more websites are either they're being shut down, or the hosting is not being renewed. And there's been a couple of big ones that I was so surprised to see not show up anymore. In fact, there's been a couple. Usually when I see that, I unlink them, I delete them, whatever, so they don't show up, because that can hurt when you have a lot of broken links on your website. But there's been a couple of big ones that I was like, man, I'm just hoping that they just didn't renew their hosting, and they weren't paying attention, and they need to go and renew the hosting and bring it back up, because we're talking about websites with a lot of preparedness content on there that had just gone away. Now there's ways to get that content. I have written articles, I've actually done videos on that, right? I'll link to one if I can remember. I will link to one which will show you how to get to articles that I have linked to on Prepper website, but the websites aren't there any longer. And so it lays it out for you. But I've even reached out to some of these website authors, and some of them have been like, hey, or owners, and they've like, hey, we just, I'm just on to other things, or I haven't heard anything back from them, and I'm like, okay, so what has happened? Has something like physically happened, or you just, like fell off the face of the earth, or whatever? And my thing to people that are out there that own websites is like, look, if you have a lot of content on your website, and you're like done with preparedness, and you don't want to maybe write articles anymore, then give that website to someone, or at least move it to a free site that at least the content is still there for people to be able to find. And there's a lot that goes into it, more work, and usually when you're done. But it would be real easy to turn it over and say, look, Todd, or somebody else out there, I know that you are in the preparedness community, and I know that this is something that is important to you. I'm kind of done. Do you want my content, or do you want to take over my website, or whatever it might be? I think that would be a really good move. So I've seen this happen. Now, those that are still in it, and those that need, their livelihood is from preparedness, I've seen like an uptick in, hey, things that they're putting out, whether it's selling ebooks or courses or whatever, because you're kind of fighting for those dollars out there. And so I've always stated, I like my job, I like what I do, I like the people that I work with, all that type of stuff. I never started Prepper website to go full time, and so I've been very lucky in that. Now, I mean, it's almost like a full-time job, because I do the podcast and all that kind of stuff in the evening time, and sometimes I feel like I don't have a life, but for me it's still fun, right? And for me it's a mission. I feel like it's supposed to, like what I'm supposed to be doing, right, for the Lord. So you have that. So I'm seeing that, and then the other side of that is what I'm seeing is that there are those that own stores, preparedness stores, that are shutting down. We had a really big one. It was a big advertiser on Prepper website, and they shut down, man. And part of that is because you have Amazon that has everything in the world, and you can just go easily buy there. And if you have a Prime account, you don't pay shipping, although the 2-day thing doesn't always pan out, so sometimes that's a bunch of junk. But anyway, you have that, so it's just so easy to go to Amazon and purchase. But you have these people that run preparedness stores, online stores and things like that, and they might be struggling as well. And what I want to say is, it might cost you a few dollars more, it might cost you shipping, but really think about purchasing from these people, right? From these online preparedness stores, because when you buy from Amazon, you're buying from Amazon. You might be buying from someone who has a preparedness store because they sell on there. I know some that are selling on there as well, but for the most part, you're just buying from someone who's just selling items. When you buy from a preparedness store, right, whoever that might be, and I have some on the right side of Prepper website. If you go and you can click on them, when you purchase from them, they're people that understand you and people who understand preparedness, and you can contact them and you can talk to them and you can ask them questions, and they will walk you through what you need, or they will answer questions for you, where you will not get that from Amazon. You will not get that from a reseller on Amazon. And so it's one of those things that that these people are there and they get you, they understand you, they're willing to help you. And if we can, let's support them. If we can, let's support what they're doing and their livelihood, because they've taken a risk to get out there and they believe in preparedness. Now, there's a lot of fly-by-night. I see people all the time, because I have links on my website. People will open up a store, and really what they do is they just link to Amazon stuff, right? And they're like, hey Todd, I have an online survival store, will you link to me? And I'm like, yeah, that's not really legit. You don't have product, you're not really, it's not like a real store. You're just linking to stuff. But the ones that really do have product, the ones that have been at it for a while, and if you ever have a question, just send me an email and I'll point you to some really good ones. Let's support them if we can, because if they all go away, right? Think about it. If they all go away, and then all we have is the big box stores, Walmart, whatever, and then we have Amazon, and then that's all. If they wanted to start saying, hey, you know what, we don't want to give you too many options of preparedness items, or we don't want to give you too many options of this, we're just going to give you this, we're just going to promote this piece of junk right here. And I mean, that's all that you have available. Not too long ago, I ran into a store, and I saw it was like a survival and camping store, and I was like, whoa, I was blown away, because I haven't seen one like that other than like sporting goods stores in my area, and stop by, and I've tried to buy things from them when I can, because I think that's important to support them and to help them. I even try to talk with the owner and give them ideas of how you can bring more people in, because I think that's important. So if you're watching this, right, and you are in the preparedness community, or at least you believe in self-reliance and being prepared, then know that your patronage of different websites and also the online stores and things like that is very, very important, because you could foresee a time where those would go away just because people need to, make a living, and they can't continue to go on not bringing in money for their families and things like that. So if you can, when you can, support them, and whatever that means for you. Sometimes just a couple of bucks. Sometimes it's just, like I said, purchasing an item from them. Makes a big difference. So that's part one. Now I have part two, part three that'll be coming up, and different aspects of the Prepper Purge that I want to share with you. So hopefully you have enjoyed this one, or at least it's got you to think. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comment section below. I love to hear what you think about this. So anyway, thanks so much. God bless.